Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Monday, October 16th, 2023, here for my weekly cross-stitching update. I have some progress to show from this week. The weekdays this past week were kind of busy, so it wasn't a great amount of stitching, but still something, and this weekend was pretty good. To start off with, though, I have a brief shop update because I posted a video Thursday with my shop update. I have two new patterns that I have released. One is a new temperature pattern, Temperature Turtles, that is super cute. So this one is my new temperature design. I have hopes of doing another one that's kind of percolating in here, so if I can get that one down, there might be a second one before the year's over. Then I might stitch that one this coming year, but we'll see. And then I also have released the friendship pattern that I had designed for the Stitch Shenanigans retreat back in April. It's been 6 months, so that's also now available. And I also have a coupon code for you to celebrate 13,000 subscribers. So that is, I'll put the details here. It's 13K thanks is the code. So you have to enter that to get the discount for 13% off all print and PDF patterns. It started on Friday the 13th and it goes for 13 days, which ends October 25th. So I thought that was fun to celebrate 13,000 subscribers. So there's also a giveaway over on that particular Flosstube extra. So if you missed that, you can head over there and comment on that video if you have any interest in that. So I also bought some things. So there was an Etsy coupon earlier this week. I think it was Monday through Wednesday, maybe, or maybe Sunday through Wednesday. It was for a few days. 10 off of 40. Anything on Etsy. It was an Etsy coupon, not a shop specific coupon, so you could use it anywhere, which was pretty cool. So I have had these patterns on my radar for probably over a year. They've been favorited. The shop itself doesn't necessarily go on sale that I've noticed. I very well could have missed it. They do have a small coupon code I think you could use that's in the description box. But there's 12 of them because it's a monthly series, because I am a glutton for punishment. And I think I mentioned it on my channel before that I was interested in these. So when I saw this coupon code, I decided to jump on it, and I was able to use it twice. So I got 6 in one transaction and 6 in another transaction and got $20 off the set. So I am talking about the Cats and Hearts series by Kitty and Me Designs. She has a whole bunch of cute designs. You might fall down a rabbit hole if you head over there. There are at least 3 different versions of the black cat silhouette with colorful things for the months. They have mandalas and quilt blocks as well, but I really liked the heart ones. This January one is probably my least favorite, just because it's a little bit more monochromatic, but I like all of them. So I'll show you. Here's February and March, April, May, June, July, August, really like that one, September, October, November, this one's getting me fall mood right now, and December. And these were PDF downloads, and I printed them out because I will be probably working, I don't know if they work in Pattern Keeper, I haven't checked, but there is backstitching in here anyways, and I'll probably do them as travel stitching. So I just printed them out in hard copy. I was gifted a lot of fabric recently, and I had some antique white 36 count in there. I have 2 of these, and I didn't know what size they were originally when I was thinking about, oh, hopefully I can get all 12 of these on those 2 pieces of fabric I have. Well, I looked, these are large pieces of fabric. I could get 16 of this size pattern on one of these. So super excited. I'm going to cut these up, make them a travel stitch for this coming year. I was originally thinking maybe I'd do it in 25 because I was thinking of putting my frosted pumpkin in as a travel piece or putting in other things that I'm trying to finish as, you know, rotate through those for my travel stitching. But I'm a little nervous if I wait on this and shelve it for a year that I will be drawn, like, it'll just sit in my closet for the next decade because I'll be, you know, squirrel, something else will catch my fancy. So I want to just start them. I love them. So I'm going to probably work on one every month. I have no idea if I could finish them in a month or not. If they're, let's see, they're all the same size. 101 by 77. So I'm going to do probably 2 over 2 on this 36 count. And because I like the coverage of 2 strands on 18 count, and it's not hand-dyed, it's printed, it's fabric flare, so it's thinking that'll be fine. Worst case, I could do the cats in 2 strands to make sure the black covers and then 1 strand for all the colors, but we'll see. I'll probably do 2 strands. And yeah, I'll cut them up, put some floss on some floss drops, and make that my travel stitch for next year. Yeah, I think that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna start one every month, and then whatever I don't finish by the end of the year will be like a focus to finish the following year. And I could maybe roll them over into more travel stitching or just put them into like a focus slot the following year, depending on how much I get done. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. I have no idea how fast or slow they would be, but I'm super excited about that. Travel stitching. My temperature piece for this year is Temperature Quaker. Got my 7 sections done on Sunday. So here's where this is at now. This is 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim. 1 over 1 full cross. And here's my October. That's still very colorful. Kind of going in and out of the warmth. So that's fall. It feels a little warmer than September was, just mainly because this pot's so big, but I think it was generally a few more warm days than we even had in September. So it's a little bit backwards, but that's all right. The nights and mornings are very, very brisk and cool. Low 50s usually. I don't think it's dipped down into the 40s yet, but I haven't been paying attention to the lows. But it's very nice, which helps cool it off and keep the house cool, even if it does get warm during the day. So that's a benefit of the fall. My Advent Animals went well. Let's see, where's my finish? I have finished Gigi Giraffe all the way on a card. These are on 18 count light blue Aida, 2 over 1 full cross, and they've been stitched onto a 3x5 index card, and I have a frame with rings that they will go on at Christmas time. So that's exciting. That one's all the way done. And I got some work done on Ping Panda. Here's where she's at now. And I got all the white finished. I decided to start with the white. I already had that light green color and started with the white because there was a lot of it. So I thought that could be a good color to lay a foundation for everything. So yeah, got that done. On a few days of travel stitching, plus we started watching the most recent season of Lego Masters, so I'll be able to stitch on this whenever that comes out. So that's fun. And then my Frosted Pumpkin Sal, which I referenced, which will no longer be transitioning to a travel stitch in the new year. I'll just keep it as my sister call stitch for the rest of 2024 until it's done. She likes frosted pumpkin, so I don't know, there's really no rush. I'll just keep working on it throughout the year. We won't even get the final part until February, I think. So I'll just keep working on it, chipping away at it. Maybe, hopefully, it'll be done by the end of 2024. So I'll just have some cute stuff going all the time on this one. So, and I don't plan on joining the next one, the next cross stitch, year-long stitch along. Never say never, but I'm pretty sure I won't. So this is 28 count Ice Blue Lugana, 1/1, full cross with my own color conversion. And yeah, I was over here in the tower, did that brown around here. And did I do any of the bricks? I might have filled in some gray. I'm not 100% sure. But I did the brown around there, which also came over here a little bit in the drawbridge. That's what it is. So may have done some gray, but it may have just been brown. I can't remember. I forgot to show you the cover page. The newest part was released on Thursday. So I have a new cover page for you. And this is the latest part is up here. It's like a jousting tournament in the background there with a tent and a little bonfire with some chairs and 2 jousters. And this lawn is greener. It's just the way my toner save mode turned it kind of yellowy. But yeah, so that'll be cute. So once I'm going to keep focusing here on the tower and the princess, then I might come up and work on that. And the bottom stuff will get done eventually, but it's, I like working from the top down. So if I can do more up before coming down, I would prefer that. Because then since I hold my fabric in my hand, this stuff will get touched less if I stitch it later, if that makes sense. So I'll just keep, if more parts get released that are higher, I'll do them first. So since that's higher, that's getting done next. But I do want to finish that tower and the princess because that's just, it's fun and I want to get that area, that section finished before I move on. Okay, I think that's, I guess I could do butterfly rose cross. Sometimes I do that right away. I got to do that this week, talking with Desiree. So we pulled out our butterfly rose crosses by Bridget Ashwood, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing it no background, and mine is more of a tealy blue than a blue. But it's been fun and it's very pretty. I have the mini, so it's really coming together nicely. All right, I had a call and it kind of broke the video, so here we are. This is a butterfly rose cross. This is 28 count, kind of a tealy blue color by Hand Dyeing Duo on Instagram. And it's 1/1 full cross on 28 count. So I am stitching it. It's warmer than it ever shows up here, but I am picking symbols, 10 by 10 squares, left to right, top to bottom. So I have finished a whole row, I think. I finished some black that was in here and then came down to the next 10 by 10, the next 10 by 10 row. Didn't touch any of these, the butterfly or the flower here, but it kept picking symbols in this butterfly. So this top wing is a lot more filled in, but the colors filled in everywhere here and a little bit over here. I did some more in that flower too, so a little bit all over, because once I pick the symbol, I just stitch it everywhere it appears within reason. There was one of these blues had like 5 stitches like way down here, and then the stitch, maybe 8. The stitch would have been, the color would have been completed, but I'm not going to count way down here. I'm sometimes that crazy, but most of the time I like to keep it reasonable. A reasonable length of counting. And that was not reasonable. So I'm like, I'm just going to stay up high. It's fine. If it's not within like maybe 10 or 20, I'll probably just wait and do it later. Maybe 30. I did one session on my Sacred Stitch, but I did not work at all on my Shine Bright sampler stitch along. So, because the week was just too busy and I didn't have a lot of extra stitching time, partly because of those pattern releases and extra filming for my Flosstube Extra and just life. So I did work on Dragon Ride on Monday. Not a ton, but I did get it out. And this is by Teresa Winsler. Working on this for my son. I'm hoping to finish this next year. It's getting close. So here's all of it. This is 28 count light blue even weave by MCG Textiles. 2/2 full cross for most of it, but the man is 1/1. And here's the before and after for what I worked on. I worked on the reins and the saddle area. I think I got 2 colors finished. So there's still more to do. I was kind of hoping I'd get all of that done and cross-stitched this time, but that was not to be. There's just not a lot of extra time this during the weekdays this week. So I did what I could. So next time I pull this out in November, I guess, I'll chip away at that saddle area a little bit more. And then the next day, I finished letter E fairy. So this is by Nora Corbett. I'm doing one of these for each of my nieces for their high school graduation. And I really picked up the pace on this one because I have this one and another one I need to do before May, June of this coming year. 2 nieces graduate the same year. So in the past, I've had one every year or a year off in between. It was like 1 break and then we've been back to back, but this year there's 2. Then I'll have at least 1 year off, maybe 2, and then another niece, and then a few more, 2 or 3 more years, and then my daughter. So I'm getting close to the end, but I finally got this done. So I'm so excited. Here, this is the called for 32 count water lily linen, 2/2 full cross for everything, and I use my own colors. I am hoping to sort out the color conversion situation with maybe a Google Doc that I can share and make public. So I'm not sure when that will be because I think I prioritize my temperature, my next temperature piece before I get that sorted out. Sherry, I know you're looking for this conversion, so I may be able to write it down for you and then post the public one later. But yeah, this week I finished up this stuff down here. There was a few more curly cues and some actual cross stitches along here, as well as beads. So I got that all done. Yay! It's so pretty. I really like this one. So I will probably wait to frame this until the next one is finished and then frame them both at the same time. So unless for some reason the next one takes a really long time, but I don't anticipate it will. It's an S like this one. And I'll show it now, even though it's plans. Here's the pattern for S, and I have all the, at one point I went through and bought all the, I think 1/8 of a yard pieces in water lily for all of them. So I should have 3 more pieces in here. For the S, I have an M and an R coming. So, and this has all the patterns from all the letters that I've been doing. So I only bought the ones I needed. So this one, I think is gonna be more of a black S and a purple fairy, were the colors that we talked about, which is actually kind of close to what this is. This is kind of a gray and pink S, dark gray anyways, and then she's already in purple, so my conversion won't be too terribly different from what the model is. I'll probably keep this flower something fun. If that's yellow or not, I'm not sure. Well, we'll see what plays nicely. Maybe I could make it a pink flower to go with the black and the purple. I don't know. We'll see. So that I will probably, I haven't been able to play with colors yet because this week has been too busy for that. So on Tuesday, when this one's rotation will officially start, I will at very least play with colors on Tuesday and get that sorted. I may or may not start it on Tuesday, depending on how long that process takes. But possibly I'll get the colors sorted and started on Tuesday and have something to show. Worst case, I'll show you my colors next week, and that'll be my stitching. But knowing me, I want to put a few stitches in the fabric and not waste a day, so you'll probably see something. I did a little bit on Those Who Sing. I did 3 more days on this one. This is the one I had hoped originally to finish here in October before I realized there's a lot more stitching to go than I had anticipated. So my new goal was to get to the halfway point and finish the entire first page. I thought I might be able to get there and then not have to worry about it at all this week, but I didn't quite have enough time on Saturday that I was kind of expecting. So I'm like, that's all right. I probably would have, even if I'd had a little bit more time, I probably wouldn't have gotten everything I wanted to get done, because it always takes longer than you think it's going to. So I'm glad. I'll give it one more day this week, probably Wednesday. Hopefully that'll give me enough time to get below the page break, which I'm close. So here is where it is now. This is 32 count Mushroom Slushee by Fabric Flair, 2x2 full cross. And the bird is all the way done, which is really fun. And this branch is all the way done. There's a flower right here. And I went ahead and made sure this curled down. This is like, I think the page break's like right here. There's a flower here that's on page 2, but since I have to do this one on page 1, I'll go ahead and do both of them at the same time, because I'm getting those colors out and there's only a few stitches of each color. I might as well do them both at the same time. So I love the colors on this one. There's a few more leaves and things around this bird that I need to do. This is actually on my needle right now, this one. And then the flowers. So it shouldn't take too long. Yeah, a little bit more trunk, I think, too. So hopefully I can get that done in one day this week to the page break. And then next year it will be on my list to try to finish. Hopefully it'll be on a focus list next year. And I may end up breaking things up to keep my interest in things. So if something ends up being a little bigger, I might, rather than say, okay, it'll be my focus slot for eternity until it's done, I'll say, okay, I have the halfway point now. Maybe my first goal will be, I'll keep it in my focus slot until I get all the tree done. And then I'll bring it back out and do the house and bench later. You know, I'm not really sure. That might be something I would think about, just to break it up and not be too overwhelming, which is something I thought about while I was working on this one, which I worked on Friday the 13th. This is Nora Corbett's Halloween Fairy. I had this in my mind on my short list for next year to finish, but I am really far away from a finish on this one as well. So I'm up here. I didn't get very much time to stitch on Friday either. So I worked in her hair a little bit. I did a little bit of brown, but really hardly anything. So I'm hoping I get more time on Halloween, but to work on her a little bit more this year. But I will not get her finished next year, and I don't want that pressure. But I was thinking, same thing with Those Who Sing. I could have the goal for next year to get to the halfway point, which is about here. And or potentially, even if that goes quicker than I expect, I could at least get her, dress and trick or treat banner done. And then I can do her legs and pumpkins and all of this the following year. We'll kind of have to wait and see, because this isn't that much, but this is a lot. I have this part of the dress finished, but none of this. So that's a lot of dense stitching. Anyways, here is my progress on this one. So here is some more 32 count Mushroom Slushee. It was Mushroom Slushee week. 2x2 full cross for all of it. I noticed that her headdress was not entirely beads. There was some Kreinik in there. So I went ahead and did the Kreinik. There's mostly light blue, which is the same as it's ice blue, same as in the moon. There's a little bit of red Krynic too. And then there was a color that was already done in the owl and a little bit in her dress. The next darkest brown, it was done here already, but it needed to be filled in the gloves and a little bit more in her bodice area. So I did finish that color as well. So not a whole lot was finished, but I'm hoping on Halloween to maybe pull out the beads and finish her headdress and potentially get another color of brown put in. That'd be fun. So we'll see. What day is October 31st? That's on a Tuesday, so, but it's not a Bible study night. So we'll see. I might be able to get a good amount done on that day. So that was my thought too. I have a full coverage grapes that I'm going to work on later this month. That was kind of on my let's focus on this in 2024 list, but I knew it's not likely to get done, but I would like to push that one forward. It's probably my closest full coverage to a finish. So I might set myself a goal for that one to put on my finish list, get to this percentage or this amount of rows done or something of that nature. So that I can kind of have some success, you know, with a completed goal and be like, yes, I did it. And then move on to the next one, even if it can't be a proper finish, because some of these are, you know, not quite there, and that's okay. What's next? I think my autumn montage is my last one. I worked on this yesterday. It's so much fun to pull this out, especially when I'm working on non-full coverage the rest of the week. It's really fun to pull out full coverage again. I do love it. So this is by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts. I'm up here in the top with those leaves, and I got 456 stitches, so another decent day of progress. So this is 28 count mushroom Lugana 1/1 faux cross, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I did. I am picking in the symbols 10 by 10 blocks going down this first chunk of the pattern because it's a long skinny piece. So I'm going to fill in the blocks this way, pick my symbols down, and then come back to the top and kind of go like this across the top. And so I have a few more 10 by 10 blocks in here are completed. This first column is not quite done. I have some more scattered in here that need to be done, but I'm hopeful that will be, at the very least, that I'll get that column finished before the end of October. So should be great. I have 2 more Sundays in October for Seasonal Sunday. This coming weekend, my parents might visit, which usually means very little stitching time. So originally I also have a plan on the 22nd for starting Topsy-Turvy with Carla for her birthday. So I think my original idea was, oh, well, maybe I can move Autumn Montage and have a seasonal Saturday so it still gets some time, and then work on Carla's piece all day Sunday to get a nice start. But if my parents are visiting, I may not get much going on that day at all. This one could still be a nice one to work on while they're here. So I may still do that. I may work on Autumn Montage on Saturday and then work on this one on Tuesday, Sunday, because Sunday is her actual birthday. So here's this one. I'm going into plans now. This is Counting Puddles Topsy-Turvy Tea. And I am starting this with Carla. I met her in person, yay, at Stitch Shenanigans. And she shared the materials for it. So these are the called for flosses. I think this is a very similar fabric. So I'll get to, mine will look a lot like this. So I'm going to do 2/2. I think they're silks, so that'll be fun. And yeah, I will hopefully get this started on Sunday. Potentially, I might get it started early, like on Saturday, just to put a stitch or 2 in so I can find the spot. And then if my parents are here, then I can pick it up and just start stitching. So I may do, you know, just a handful of stitches to get it officially started so that I can actually work on it on Sunday if I have any downtime. Because starting something, if I have just a few minutes here and there, probably not in the right headspace for that. My other plans for this week, today is Family Monday, so I'm gonna pull out Visit Endor, which is by Country Magic Stitch. She has these fun fandom cross stitches that are very simple. I'm working on this for my son. Oh yeah, I was thinking here this calendar year, I may not force myself to go all the way to 1,000 stitches in the month because I'm generally still only giving them 1 day. Next year, I'm planning to give all my family pieces 2 days, so getting to 1,000 shouldn't be a problem. But this one needs 643 stitches per month to get it finished by his graduation. When I calculated it, it might be a little less now just because, so roughly 650. So I'm gonna hopefully get 650 on this before I put it away. Whether I get that all today or I have to pull it out a little bit more on Wednesday to finish that up before I start working on Those Who Sing, we'll have to wait and see. So this is this 28 count Dove Gray Monaco 2/1 half cross. And I'll work on that a little bit, hopefully get 650 stitches. And since there's a lot of big blocks of color, this one, it doesn't take that. It's not as hard to get that many stitches on that one because it's just row by row and they just add up. It's a miracle. My Bear Time Stories needs a little bit more to reach my goal, 779. So I may try to get to like 800. Oh no, that's right. This one was the special one. So this one I will go ahead and do 1,000. I am going to show you now because when my parents visit, they tend to spend the night and I can't do my video on Monday morning like I usually do. So I may not be able to film until Tuesday, which means I will have gotten this one some attention this coming Monday evening. So Mini Bear Time Stories by Heaven Under Designs, artwork by Randall Spangler, super cute. So if I have this one, like 1,000, just a tiny bit over 1,000 stitches, will finish my color that I'm working on, which is the color that had the most stitches at the time, 814, I believe. So this is 40 count Burtle 1/1 half cross. This is a whole design, and I believe this corner is where the last of that color is. So I do plan to get all 1,000 stitches on that this month so I can finish that color. I think that would be great. Then starting next month, I can start color completing the smallest colors, the colors with the least amount of stitches left, and get those kind of knocked out and start checking those off. That's always fun to do. So that's what I'll do. And if I need a second day on that, I will allow myself to do it, which will cut into my work on grapes next week, but I'm okay with that. As soon as I get to the end of the color, I'll just, even if it's the middle of a stitching session, I'll just stop and move over to grapes in the middle of the day if I have to go into a second day. So that's the plan on that one. But so I'll hopefully come back on Tuesday next week and we'll have worked on that one. My main piece this week, once I finish the page on Those Who Sing and once I've gotten at least 650 stitches on Visit Endor, I'm going to pull out Cupcake Dreams because I'm going back to my original goal, original plan, I guess, of doing a focus piece and a non-full coverage, or a full coverage, no background, and then a full coverage. And so this is my full coverage, no background that I'm choosing because originally I had a New Start plugged in here and I am not feeling it. So this is my focus for the one I want to finish first. I already gave it a little bit of extra time in a different month. Can't remember which one. And now I'm going to give it a little bit of extra time again. So it won't get that many days because I'm kind of encroaching on both sides. I'll probably do Autumn Montage on Saturday. I may do a little bit more on Visit Endor, and then Those Who Sing is in there. So it may only get like a day or two, but it's better than nothing, right? So here is where this one's at now. I do hope I can finish this next year. That would be great. So this is on 28 count Mint Jubilee 1/1 full cross, and you can see there it is green. And I am doing the color completing with the symbols with the least amount of stitches remaining, and it's been really fun to kind of see all those zeros show up. So I might continue to do that. That was fun. And I think that's everything I plan to do this week. So many things. So yeah, so we'll see what I end up doing. It's I'm kind of all over the place this week with not as set of plans as usual, but that's okay. It's always fun. I'm enjoying what I'm working on, and I hope you are too. And have a wonderful October. I guess we still have a little bit more October. So yeah, have fun. Happy stitching. Bye.